everybody, and welcome. We are back to our regular schedule of programming for our videos, and we're going to be resuming our VS Code series after we took a dive into Reaper. But don't worry, if you want more Reaper videos, we're also going to have those too. And we're going to have a Reaper video editing in a sense series after this VS Code series is done. I want to start off by thanking you guys. We are up to 84 subscribers. I cannot believe it. Like, this is pretty crazy. I started this YouTube channel, less than a month ago now? So thank you guys for all of the subscribers, and keep it up because we're going to have some more videos. Let's actually start figuring out what we're going to talk about. We are going to actually talk about my favorite VS Code extensions. And I'm sure this is a topic that all you guys are looking forward to, but I thought it would be a cool idea to make it. We already know the basics of VS Code, and so from this point forward, what we're going to be focusing on is we're going to be actually working on different extensions like we were with Remote SSH. And so that is kind of the plan for the rest of the tutorial series. I want to open up my extensions, and I want to kind of share what I use each of them for. Note, however, that this list may change over time as my needs change, so this video may end up getting updated every so often to reflect that. This video and the extensions that I use are current as of February 19th, 2021. I'm in my VS Code now, and let's go to our extensions. Recall that extensions can be accessed by pressing Ctrl-Shift-X on Windows or Command-Shift-X on Mac. So let's first do that.
Untitled -1 search extensions and market.
Also, you get to this search field, and what you'll want to do is you'll want to press Tab, and so that you can see all your installed extensions. So I'm going to do that now.
Installed section button expanded.
One more time.
Extensions list. GitLens.
Okay, the first extension I land on is GitLens. So what is GitLens? GitLens is a supercharged Git extension. And this is really nice. I use it when I have to deal with pull requests or any other features that may not be natively in the Git extension. And I really like it because if I'm working with a team who happen to be cited, it really gives a good visual overview of the Git history and the commits. So it's a really nice extension to have. And there's a whole bunch of other features that I probably don't know about. So I definitely recommend having GitLens.
Jupyter, 2022.2.57644069, Microsoft, press enter for extension details. Please reload Visual Studio Code to enable the updated extension. 2 of 16 level 1.
Jupyter. So this is for Jupyter notebooks, and personally, I don't use it. The reason that it got installed is because when I installed the Python extension, the Python and Jupyter extensions work together, so I couldn't just remove it. So that's Jupyter notebooks.
Live server, 5.6.1, Ritwick day, press enter for extension details. This extension is enabled globally. 3 of 16 level 1.
You guys are familiar with this one, Live Server. This one is really awesome. So what Live Server is, for those who are not aware, Live Server is an extension where you can see static web pages in your browser from a VS Code window, and when you want to refresh, all you do is you press Ctrl-S and your changes will be reflected real time on the VS Code Live Server.
Liveshare, 1.0.3784, Microsoft, press enter for extension details. Please reload Visual.
When you hear please reload Visual Studio Code to enable the updated extension, that basically means that there's an update available. So that's what that kind of means. So, Liveshare, another awesome extension. So what is Liveshare, you ask? Liveshare is an extension in which participants can live collaborate and pair program on a document. It's almost like you can think of Google Docs for programmers. It's really awesome, and in fact, I'm going to try to get one of my awesome friends on the channel to do a tutorial with Liveshare so that we can demonstrate with 2 people. So that should be coming up pretty soon. That will be awesome because we'll literally be live coding in real time. It'll be pretty cool. So that is kind of where that is at, and yeah, Liveshare what you do is you sign in with either your GitHub or Microsoft account, and then you can share out links to people, or you can actually invite them from your contacts. We will do a deep dive into Liveshare later on when we do our big tutorial, and I hopefully have a special guest on the channel.
Liveshare audio, 0.1.91, Microsoft, press enter for extension details. This extension is enabled globally. 5 of 16 level 1.
Like Liveshare, Liveshare audio is another extension, and what this does is it allows you to integrate calling in your Liveshare session. So say that you want to have a Liveshare session with somebody, but maybe you want to have everything in VS Code. You could actually initiate an audio call from VS Code to talk to them. Personally, I've never used this, but I like to have the option available if it ever becomes available to me, and if it's ever needed.
LTX, 9.0.0, Julian Valentin, press enter for extension details. This extension is enabled globally. 6 of 16 level 1.
LTX. So LTX is a spell checking extension that I really like, and what it does is it allows me to spell check my markdown documents, which is going to be another video in this series, how to do markdown in VS Code. And so it allows me to spell check my markdown documents using a extension that will help me correct in Visual Studio Code without having to go into like Word or something. So really nice to have for when I'm writing documentation.
Markdown all-in-one, 3.4.0, Yuzhan, press enter for extension details. This extension is enabled globally. 7 of 16 level 1.
Like with LTX, this is another Markdown extension, and what's cool about this is it's Markdown all-in-one. So all the features you need for Markdown, so whether it's making table of contents, headers, let's say that you want to even render math. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff when we do our Markdown tutorial. All of it's built in, even previewing. So that is really cool there. Highly recommended.
PHP Debug, 1.14.9, Felix Becker, press enter for extension details. This extension is enabled globally. 8 of 16 level 1.
PHP Debugger is a really nice extension for debugging PHP code. And I don't have to do a lot of PHP, but when it's there, it's really helpful to help debug my PHP code whenever I need to write it.
PHP Extension Pack, 1.0.2, Felix Becker, press enter for extension details. This extension is enabled globally. 9 of 16 level 1.
PHP Extension Pack. So this is all of the extensions in the PHP extension pack, so the debug and all those. Like I said, really helpful to have PHP extensions. I don't use them all that much, but just a nice addition whenever I need to edit PHP files.
PHP IntelliSense, 2.3.14, Felix Becker, press enter for Python, 2021.2.576481509, Microsoft, press enter for extension details. Please reload Visual Studio Code to enable the updated extension. 11 of 16 level 1.
Python, really awesome extension. I'm going to be doing a full tutorial on that one as well. So Python, self-explanatory. What it allows you to do is one of two things. Well, actually more than two, but really, realistically, it can be broken down into editing and running your Python code. And obviously writing. So editing, writing, and running. Really awesome. Again, that tutorial will be coming up very shortly.
Remote-SSH, 0.64.0, Microsoft, press enter for extension details. This extension is enabled globally. 12 of 16 level 1.
You guys should be familiar with this one. We just did the tutorial on this one not too long ago, Remote SSH. It allows you to use VS Code as an SSH terminal. Really cool stuff. However, I did hear that there were some issues with Remote SSH on M1 Macs, so we'll just have to see kind of how that goes. But for us Windows users and other Macs, it definitely works out pretty well.
Remote-SSH, editing configuration files, 0.64.0, Microsoft, press enter for extension details. This extension is enabled globally. 13 of 16 level 1.
This is another extension. It's just the configuration files.
Remote-WSL, 0.54.0, Microsoft, press enter for extension details. This extension is enabled globally. 14 of 16 level 1.
Like Remote SSH, we also have something called Remote WSL. And what this is an extension that allows editing and integration with your remote Windows subsystem for Linux, WSL. I will do a tutorial about this also. And so what this will do is it will allow you to directly integrate with the WSL, almost like it's a remote. So I will kind of explain that more when we get to the tutorial, but be on the lookout for that.
Settings sync, 3.4.3, shan press enter for extension details. This extension is enabled globally. 15 of 16 level 1.
Okay, settings sync. So settings sync is really awesome, and what will this do is it will allow you to sync settings back and forth. I did hear from Microsoft that they are going to be integrating this extension into VS Code, and it's in Insiders, I think, right now. Very awesome news. I'm looking forward to that. However, the reason that this extension is still being used is solely for the fact that currently it doesn't support public gist, so you wouldn't be able to download my settings, but when that becomes available for public and Microsoft, I will be more than willing to switch, and I will do a video about that.
VSCode setting export, 0.
Oh, I want to recap. Just as a recap, I got some of what I use. So, these extensions can be broken down pretty simply. We have a lot of extensions for writing code. So, those would be the Python, PHP, and three, two, and one. It seems like I have a lot of extensions, and to that I say yes, but a lot of them depend on each other. So for example, the Jupyter one I don't directly use, but Python depends on it. Or the remote SSH one, all of them I may not use, but again, the core depends on the other extension, if that makes sense. So I understand that this may be overwhelming, and again, this video will probably change very frequently. But I just wanted to give an overview of kind of what extensions I use and how you can use them. And with that knowledge, you guys can actually be able to use VS Code effectively. So we're going to have some more tutorials coming up. And again, we're going to focus on extensions. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a Markdown tutorial on Thursday. And the remaining tutorials are going to be the WSL, the Liveshare, Python, and PHP. And there's probably going to be more that are going to come up because of viewer submitted suggestions. So those are some more tutorials that we're going to be coming up in the future. Again, I apologize for last week's craziness, but be on the lookout because we're also going to have some more Reaper videos, and I'm working with some awesome friends to create some Reaper enhancements that I think you guys will love. So for those Reaper users who are watching this video, be on the lookout. I want to thank you guys again for all the support. I also have some cool things coming up on the works. If you would like to be more a part of the community, you may check out the membership site, community.taylorart.com. And you may also check out some links in the description for some of our other information. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next videos. And please have a great day. I will talk to you guys later.
Meeting can mute. Stop active. Stop share.